Answer enabling anymore. Okay, hello, folks. Oh, I hear some echo. All right. Well, I invited a good amount of people, but I don't know how many are going to show up. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're using this new YouTube Go Live, but it's being routed through Google Plus Hangouts on Air, so it's kind of confusing to people. But we deal with what we can deal with, you know. So tonight we've been hitting the high shelf a lot, like with that Birra Moretti La Rossa and stuff. But today we're hitting the low shelf. Not the lowest shelf, but we're looking at Rockdale Light. And both of the guys on here right now, Dr. Dave, the beer professor, he doesn't have it with him, and John, he's had Rockdale Light.
A couple times.
And somebody raided your fridge, and you got some more.
Yeah.
Over here, this beer is $11.76 for a 24-pack. Jean said in Mobile, and there's Jean right now, he said in Mobile it's $11.86 for a 24-pack. And this day and age, that's extremely cheap. It's less than $3 a six-pack for beer.
They actually marked it down in Indiana to $9.98 rollback prices, it says. So
that's incredible. Now, before we get started, we have myself from the South, Louisiana Beer Reviews. We have Jean-Pierre, the Beer and TV Ramble from Mobile. And I wanted to, somebody remind me to talk to him about this National Wildlife Refuge that's close to Mobile. I want to tell him about that. Jean. Jean.
Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Later on, remind me to tell you about this National Wildlife Refuge that I found out that's close to Mobile. It might be something you want to check out.
Okay, cool.
And we have up north Dr. Dave and Zone 1.
Hey, Dave. Hey, John.
hey, how's it going, bud?
And we might have some other people jumping on. Now, some people's problem was their state laws. Like Eric was getting frustrated because he said in Massachusetts, you cannot get beer at Walmart. And I said, that's funny because in Louisiana, you can go to Walmart and shop and tell your little 6-year-old, baby, go run and get me a bottle of that Mims gin and bring it over here and put it in the buggy.
So is this anything to do with Commonwealth, I guess, with Massachusetts? I don't know.
It's just a state law. And
yeah, just like New Jersey.
Yeah, Commonwealth is just an old term for state. That's all a Commonwealth means is a state or a country. So that doesn't mean anything.
You're from New Jersey, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
So every state's got different regulations. John was telling me in Indiana, they've got different prices for cold beer versus hot beer.
Yeah. Cold beer costs $1 more a 6-pack or a 12-pack or a case.
Incredible.
Does this mean?
Yeah.
And some states are real strict about walking around drinking beer in public, and then some states are not, as evidenced by John and I walking around Louisiana with open cans of beer, weren't we?
It's changed here in Alabama too now. Now, before you couldn't do it. Now, you walk downtown Mobile, downtown Birmingham, or Montgomery, whatever, you can have an open container.
Yeah.
That causes problems, man. That causes problems.
I know.
In Louisville, if you go down and buy a growler, they tape the lid on for an open container violation.
Right.
And then here where I live, they do the same thing. But if you go to Indianapolis and buy a growler, you can walk down the street drinking the growler. They don't care.
Huh. Well, I think before we get onto this beer, I think the law in Louisiana is that it is illegal, but they tolerate it in certain areas like the French Quarter, which is a known drinking area. So,
Downtown district sort of thing, right?
yeah, they know people are down there for mainly one thing, or maybe I can think of 3 things. And you know, they're not going to try to discourage that. At Mardi Gras, it's the same thing. Now, if you're walking around with a glass bottle, you might run into trouble because what can happen with a glass bottle? You can break it and then cut someone in a fight. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do with a can. So there's a little You might get in trouble if you're walking around with a glass bottle.
Cans, plastic bottles, you can do in downtown Mobile.
And I think other parts of New Orleans, the neighborhood areas, you might run into some trouble walking around with an open can of beer because they might say, well, what are you doing with this? I mean, what's going on here? So I noticed when I buy singles here in this town, they'll always give me a bag to slip it in. You know, they'll slip it in a bag. Anyway, Rockdale Light, introduced in 2016, brewed by Genesee in Rochester, New York, which I visited in June. But they don't let you tour the main brewery, unfortunately. And it's brewed exclusively for Walmart. Now, I didn't have this until I got back from New York. Jean, how long you been drinking this?
It's about the first time I saw it at the stores. This is the first time I drank this was back in July.
Okay, I think you might have gotten it about a week or two before us, huh?
Right. Mm-hmm. And by then I saw it at some of the shelves, and I kind of, looked at it, and I even sent a picture on the Hangouts and said, hey, what's Rockdale Light? And then I know other places had gotten it first, other places across the country, and then we got it down here. So. And
then John, you had it a couple of months, and then Dave said he tried it a few weeks ago, I think, and you kept having to get it really cold, and I can understand that. A few things before we start examining it, and I don't think it's going to be a very long video because what is there to examine? It's only 3.5% alcohol, so yeah, it's like the ultimate session beer. It's very inexpensive, and wait a minute. This can says Lacrosse, Wisconsin.
That's what I was saying when you said Genesee's. It's not made by Genesee.
I'm sorry, not Genesee. I'll correct that.
It's made by our old friends up there at
City Brewing.
Minhas, or maybe. I don't know.
No. City Brewing.
Sorry.
I know there's some other stuff made. Oh, I know why I got confused. Because Genesee got the contract to do the craft beer line for Walmart.
Yeah.
Those 4 canned craft beers, which you said you were rather pleased with.
The Trouble.
David, you had their craft beer versions yet?
Yeah, the Trouble Brewing, right?
Yeah, I had their IPA. It's not bad at all. It's really not, yeah, if you close your eyes and just imagine, it's not bad at all.
No.
Really.
And we're talking $12.50 for a 12-pack.
Well, in my area is a little bit more. I think it's 14. Walmart's got those strange prices, like $14.78 or something, but still reasonable.
Yeah, it was $12.49 at the Walmart in Florida City when I was down in Florida City, but still, you get a Belgian white, an IPA, which is more of a British style IPA. You get the pale ale,
and amber.
And that amber ale. Wow. And I was enjoying them. I made some videos.
3 cans each, right? 3 cans each in a 12-pack.
Yeah.
3 of each. And I made some videos down at the hotel, the motel, but then I had to reshoot it because I didn't like the way those came out. I was too exuberant with the drinking, like exploration of that.
You did look like you had some fun down there, Jay.
Yes, I was like, nah, this video is a little too awry, And then I would do another one, and then I would watch it later and say, no. And I even did. It's sad though because I did 2 videos of some European beers that I cannot get again. So those videos were lost.
Oh no.
I did the written reviews though, but I just said I don't think I need to post this. It's just too much of what you can imagine it was. They said they don't say much about the beer, right, John and Jean, and they just say smooth and refreshing beer. Rockdale Brewing, not a real company.
You know what? I if I could interject here, I was at my buddy's house, and there was 3 of us there, and we had pizza. And I said, "Hey, man, do you have any good beer?" He says, "Oh yeah, I forgot." And he brings out this Rockdale Light. I said, "No, I was talking about some good beer now. Wait a minute." He says, "That's all I have." I gotta be honest though. You know how I like my craft beer, but I kept this beer cold and it wasn't bad to me because with pizza, it was pretty good. I don't know if I'd want to drink this all the time, though.
No.
I got to be honest about that, especially just by itself. But with the pizza, I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah, I call these type of beers a standby beer.
Mm-hmm.
You're only paying $11.76 for a 24 pack.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, or in John's case, $10. So you're not losing too much. Now, I had bought some other beers like that Milwaukee Special Reserve Light. Now that, if you paid $10.99 for a 30 pack, you've paid about $10 too much.
See what they are to me, Jay, is what I call them buddy beers. If you buy a case of them for $9.99 or $10, you don't like them. It's beers you hand out to everybody when they come down to your house.
And you know what? That's what I did the first time. When I bought Rockdale, I said, here, James, my coworkers, James, here, Mike, have at it. And they liked it a lot.
Yeah, that's funny because a lot of the people I know that would come over here, if I tried to give them something like I was saying, Birra Moretti La Rosa, like, try this beer. It's all, it's so well made. It's a gourmet beer, and the website gives all these food pairings, and it's all malt, and it has no adjuncts, and they would say, oh, well, do you have anything else? If they tasted it, I'd say, well, I have this Rockdale Light, and they would say, oh, yeah, this is way better. I'll drink this. I mean, that's just what they would do. I'm telling you, they would think that the Moretti was too thick, too sweet, too strong, it doesn't make them bad people or anything. They just don't like it. They don't like these people next door. I try to give them all these like more highbrow beers.
Now, Jay, did you say that your beers are sold in 24 packs? The beers up here are sold in 30 packs.
They don't have suitcases?
They got 30 packs.
Well, we get 30 packs, but
we
not
used to get 30 packs. We used to get 30 packs here in Alabama. Now it's just 24.
30 pack.
So about Rockdale?
Rockdale right now. Only 24 pack of Rockdale here.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Walmart here, we get 30 packs. But not of this. We get 30 packs of many other beers.
We got 30 packs of Rockdale and Rockdale Light both. Yeah.
I think what it is like every state is different. You can get a 30 pack of this in this state, they'll allow it. Mississippi, 30 pack of this. We won't sell in Alabama. We won't sell in Georgia. Only 24. For whatever the reason. It's just odd.
Yeah, and if you go to Florida, they have the most bizarre rules because you cannot buy 40-ounce bottles. But you can buy 32-ounce bottles, and you could buy 2 of them, and now you've got 64 ounces.
Yeah.
They don't want you to buy a 40 because you might drink too much. Now.
Oh my gosh.
And then
I don't remember that rule because I never drink those, but that's
it's true. And you cannot buy 6 packs of pint cans in Florida, only 4 packs, which to me is very strange. I mean, in Louisiana and Alabama, you can get 6-pack of pint cans. It's so common. But, oh, no, not in Florida. Everything is 4 packs. Now, bottles, no problem. Get 6-pack of bottles. Well, this beer is only 83 calories. It is super light. The body is just, well, let's go through it. So we'll go up north first, and then we'll go to Zone 1. John, and you can give us your impressions of it. And then Dave from Recollection can give us his impressions. He already did a little bit.
Well, it doesn't have much of a body. It's pretty watery. I mean, the carbonation's gone from it pretty much. I mean, the head died down pretty good. But I don't know if anybody's ever had the Merit Light, which they make. It's almost similar to the Merit Light.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. It's
never had it.
Made by them for Aldi's.
But I've never actually seen it in real life.
Yeah. But it's pretty similar to that. But overall, I mean, if this is your kind of beer you like, I mean, this would be a better alternative than your Bud Light or your Miller Light because it's about $6 cheaper a case in Indiana than those two are. But to me, I mean, if I had to compare it to the two, I'd more compare it to the Miller Light just because the Bud Light I think has got more of a funky taste on the back end. I'm not a big Bud Light fan. So
you'd rather drink this than Bud Light?
I would, yeah. I'm not a big Bud Light fan. For some reason, Bud Light, I think, it's got that aftertaste that I'm not a big fan of.
Wow.
Welcome, John, to the club because I'm anti-Bud Light too.
Sometimes when I work at Bingo on Tuesday nights or Friday nights, I will drink a can of Bud Light, not out of the can like everybody else is doing over there. I pour it in a cup, plastic cup, and I drink. It tastes okay to me, but to me it has, in fact, it has a lot more flavor than this, and I don't get the aftertaste thing y'all talking about, but you know everybody has different impressions about those kind of things. Dave, you're going to give us now. John, you said this one is kind of dull, but it's not bad.
It's not bad. I mean, it's a little watery for me, but that's where you're getting in your ABVs at. But I mean, overall, I mean, the impression of this beer, I mean, it's a good beer. I mean, considering who made it, they can't keep it on the shelves here in Indiana. It sells out as quick as they put it on the shelves.
Seems to be moving
Really?
too.
Wow. Yeah.
I talked to a lady that stocks for the Walmart over by work, and she says they put 6 cases out, within 20 minutes it's gone.
That's pretty good. That's
But I know
good.
Dave said he gets regular Rockdale, right?
I've never heard of the regular Rockdale, but Dave says.
Neither have I.
Oh yeah, they got regular Rockdale.
Haven't seen it yet here.
I'll take a picture of it next time I go to the store.
Yeah, I want to see that because I'd buy that.
Yeah, I'll take a picture of it.
Things are kind of slow for me down here in Alabama. You know, we're kind of late for a lot of things.
Yeah.
You have some good beer down there in Alabama, though.
Yeah, we do. I mean, a lot of good craft breweries, definitely. You know, definitely.
My good buddy Darren Malloy went down there and sent me some beer back. It was pretty good.
Yeah, my daughter drinks all those interesting craft beers in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham.
Yeah.
So your impression is kind of the same, Dave. You said it was kind of blah, but then when it warmed, you found it got kind of unpleasant.
Here's what happened. I asked for some beer and I got something else, but I tell you what, I drank 2 of these beers. The first one was relatively okay with the pizza, because when you're eating a pepperoni and sausage pizza with green pepper, it doesn't really matter what you drink with it. Just you're trying to wash it down, right?
Right.
But then I had a beer all by itself, and the thing of it is, I had to put that thing back in the freezer. I don't know how many times, because you know you're sitting there, you're holding the glass, and the heat transfer goes in there. And like, oh, wait a minute, this is way too sweet. What the hell? And I'm back and forth to this guy's freezer, and I don't know what they thought about me. But, you know, that's the only way I could drink it. Just put it back in there for 10 minutes, and then drink a little bit, put it back in. The best thing that could have happened for me is I would have had a little ice chest right there in the living room, and that would have been perfect. Yeah. But it's tolerable, but it's not something I would drink on a regular basis. But again, if you're on a budget, and I know a lot of guys are on budgets. I don't make fun of anybody. At least these days I don't. You know, if you're on a budget, you know, 15, 16 bucks, what the hell? For 30 cans? That's nothing. That's what, 50 cents a can? Well, yeah, I'll drink to that. What the hell?
Yeah, a lot of people are really in a tight situation. But, you know, if I'm kneeling down now because I got tired of standing up. If you're in a tight situation, but at least you're working and trying, you know, I can't disparage that.
No.
If you're just laying around, well, maybe we got a different problem. Now, Jean, you mind if I give my impressions real fast because I'm almost.
Go ahead.
The aroma is almost what you would call, like my father would describe sometimes, inert. like he'll say when food is bland. This tastes like inert, like it's like a null space. You know what I mean? In math, the null space. You could put something in that space because there's nothing in it. There's the faintest, and I mean the faintest, sweet malt type corn adjunct thing, but I mean, you have to work to pick it up. And I seriously doubt that 99.9% of beer drinkers that buy this stuff are going to sit there and smell it to evaluate it, right? I mean, they're going to buy it and just chug a lug it.
That's
Not
it.
in a can and not in a glass. I am almost certain. The flavor, well, the first thing I pick up is a little shot of hop bitterness. And I mean a shot like zip. Here's my 11 IBUs, 12 IBUs. Then you're getting sweet malts and the adjunct, you know. And then it finishes crisp and pretty easy drinking. But it kind of has the flavor profile of a Miller 64 or even worst case scenario, Bud Select 55, which means it doesn't have any flavor. So it doesn't have off flavors. It really has essentially no flavors. That's my impression of it. I like what Walmart says on their website. I brought it up while y'all were talking. Now, what Walmart did, apparently, is they just copied and pasted a description of light beer off of, like, Grape Beer or something, because it says, about this item, okay? This is their description of the item. It's really bizarre. The light lager is generally a lighter version of a apostrophe S, by the way, bad grammar. Premium lager. Some are lower in alcohol, but all are lower in calories and carbohydrates compared to other beers. Typically, a high amount of cereal adjuncts like corn or rice or corn are used to help lighten the beer as much as possible. Yeah, that happened here. Very low in malt flavor with a light and dry body. Yep, that's describing this. The hop character is low and should only balance with no signs of flavor or aroma. European versions are about half the alcohol as their regular beer, yet shows more flavor. Some use 100% malt, like the Heineken Light. Then the American counterparts. It should be than the American counterparts. Bad job, Walmart. For the most part, this style has the least amount of flavor than any other style of beer. Well, you hit the nail on the head there. Yeah. So you can tell they just cribbed these notes.
That's okay.
Without commas. That's okay, because how many people get on the Walmart website, first of all, and how many people actually read that? Maybe
very few.
Maybe only me in the whole world. But
Clef notes.
But they're right. It has almost no flavor, the least amount of flavor of any beer. And these ultralights, like 83 calories. I mean, just like, what do you drink? Okay, so Jean, you can finish your description or talk about your description, then we'll finish it up about would you buy it again. And I think I know what we're going to say.
Well, like I said, it has all those things of your standard light beer, but this is like not your typical light beer that we all have known to buy, like Busch Light, Natty Light, Milwaukee's Best Light, or High Life Light, where their ABVs are within the 4 range. This is at 3.5%, and I mean, then again, Old Milwaukee Light is 3.9%.
Yeah.
This is, as Jay and everyone says, this is kind of as bland as it gets. It is, going down. You got to have these, as Dave said, super, super cold. You got to have these beers without question. I put mine in this morning in the fridge, and I said, all right. And immediately, it was cold, but immediately in this glass, what I have right now, you can starting to slowly warm up just a little bit. And, it's what it is. But, it's just for the calories and what it is. If you're looking to keep your girlish figure, then drink this. So,
yeah.
Look at that.
Now, John, Sharon,
Yes.
see this thick head of foam? This did not come out of a Rockdale Light. This came out of a beer you've never tried, which I was shocked to hear you say that before we went on air. Natural Ice. Now, this Natural Ice I bought, that's Anheuser-Busch, the evil empire. This Natural Ice I bought, it was $12 for an 18-pack.
wow, that's pretty good.
That's pretty damn good.
Right. Of course, Well, remember now, the Rockdale Light was $11.76 for a 24-pack, so it's not as cheap. But it does have flavor and aroma and character. Now, of course, many people that try this beer, they'll admit it has character, but they just don't like the character. You know, yeah, it's got character. I just don't like what it is.
See, I recently picked up a new beer today that we've never ever. This is the first time it's ever been introduced in this area. It was the we can get old style, but we've never been able to get the old style Oktoberfest here.
Yeah,
the first time we've ever been here. So
yeah, well, it just came out this year.
Was that first year come out?
Yeah, so no one's been able to get it.
Oh,
But
wow.
it was 4 16-ounce cans for $4.99.
Not bad.
I thought that's pretty good price. So
Yeah, that's
Not Grandale.
$1.25 per can, right?
yes.
Yeah. Hey, one more thing before I forget. Okay, this Rockdale Light, the label's not bad. It looks okay. It's not terrible, and it proves that Lacrosse, Wisconsin City Brewing can make decent stuff and sell it cheap. Lacrosse for a long time was synonymous with like The Exorcist, like demons. It was so bad. If you said Lacrosse, Wisconsin, people would run. You know all the bad stuff that came out of there.
People thought about beer 30 light. How terrible that
Just
was.
like stuff that tastes like it tastes like grape. Yeah, like grape drink and roofing tar. But you've noticed they've stepped their game up over the last 8 years or so. Look what's coming out of there now. The Heineken IPA.
Well, obviously those beers are contracted.
I mean to say Guinness IPA, the Guinness Blonde American Lager, the Pabst Old Tankard Ale, the one John's talking about, the Old Style Oktoberfest, and a bunch of others that are really good beers. What, Jean?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, I'm sure that the Guinness folks and even the Pastos with Old Tankard are kind of, observing, your eye on making sure that these breweries where, who they're told to, they're contracted with, hey, you better make sure this thing tastes as good or else we're taking this deal. We're going to another brewery to brew our stuff. So,
right. And when City Brewing in Lacrosse, their main contract was with Melanie Brewing. Okay, they were like, we need you to make Pit Bull malt liquor. I don't think the quality control was a consideration. But then when they started getting contracts with Sapporo to make Sapporo, the bottle version, and Sapporo Stone Warrior, which someone sent me, and the Guinness IPA, and the Pabst Old Tankard Ale, and the Old Style Oktoberfest, those companies, and even Walmart, they're not going to tolerate that. They're not going to.
That's exactly.
Yeah, and you're getting big money with a contract like that to make a Guinness Blonde American Lager. That's big money, not this little nicky-knack money. So they can't afford to screw it up. Whoever owns it, I don't know who owns City Brewing. I cannot get a good answer from that.
The Winer Exchange doesn't. Does the Winer Exchange own it?
No.
Wine Exchange owns this, right? They own this beer, right?
No.
Okay.
They don't own any breweries. They only handle brands. Okay.
Brand.
To certain stores, the Walgreens, the CVS.
Now, I want you to think about this for a minute. I'm not going to say too much. The brewery in Lacrosse, Wisconsin was owned by Heilemann and then Stroh's. Owned in Memphis, Tennessee, which apparently is huge, was a Schlitz brewery. Then Stroh's took it over when they bought Schlitz. And their brewery in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, was Lion Brewery, right? And they took that over.
Well, didn't
Or is it Latrobe? Did they take over the one in Latrobe?
I thought Yingling bought that brewery in Memphis.
The Wilkes. Well, Memphis. No, if you look on the look up the City Brewing website, they have 3 breweries.
They may have bought to Nashville.
Now, let's think about that for a minute. Stroh's owned all 3 of those, and then they got bought out by Pabst. I was always wondering. I wonder if Pabst some kind of way secretly owned those breweries. I don't know how you can secretly own a brewery, but it always made me wonder. Like
Conspiracy of Peter.
yeah, not a conspiracy, but you know how these beer companies have these fake names and all that stuff. Anyway, I don't know. And when I wrote to City Brewery, I was like, who owns your company? And they wouldn't give me, they were like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't give me an answer. So.
Well, you actually wrote to them and asked them?
Yeah. In email, I said, is your company owned by Melanie Brewing? They said, well, we have a very close arrangement with them. I didn't ask them that, if they had a close arrangement. All I know is I actually visited the brewery in Lacrosse, where that Rockdale comes from. And the day I visited the brewery in 1996, the actual day I was there and I bought a keychain, Heileman's was bought out by Stroh's. And this was like a big deal, all on the radio. Everybody said, are we going to lose our jobs? And they actually did, because for about 2 years that brewery was closed, shuttered. And then City Brewing, whoever owns that, started it up again. Now I'm looking at their website right now. They own 3 breweries: Lacrosse, Wisconsin, right on the Mississippi River, which I live next to, less than a mile away from the river. Latrobe, Pennsylvania, that's the old Rolling Rock.
Rolling Rock premium beer.
And Memphis, Tennessee. Now here's what they say. Lacrosse, historic plant. We know it's very old. It was built by Heileman's. 50 million cases it can make. One of the largest beverage producers in the country. It's a big place. Latrobe, it says they can make 20 million cases a year. And that was Rolling Rock. And then they say Memphis has the capacity to produce over 60 million cases a year, making it one of the largest and most consistent producers. Uh-oh.
But you think of how many different beers they make in those breweries.
And that was built by Schlitz Brewing in 1971. It's unbelievable what they make. So you get the right people running it, they can do what we're talking about. Oh, and don't forget, what's made in Latrobe? The Red Stripe. So whoever owns City Brewing is making a lot of money. What?
Just real quick here, Jay. One of the largest Stroh's breweries in North America was right here in Cleveland, not that far from here.
Stroh's?
And you should see it today. The skeleton.
Terrible.
Stroh's are making a comeback, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they put
big brewery was in Detroit.
Right.
And now it's nothing. It was shut down in 1999, and it's nothing.
Well, Detroit. Who would want to be in Detroit?
But they're starting to make a comeback, right? I mean, Stroh's is making a comeback from what I've seen.
They are making a comeback. Yeah.
Yes, I went there 2 years ago, and I walked all around downtown all day, and it was much better than I expected, because everybody was telling me, Detroit, don't go there. But I did buy a whole truckload of beer. You can see that video I made. But anyway, the final question. Oh, and this natural ice, I'll be curious to watch that video, John.
Okay.
No, you did the Molson Ice, right, John?
Yeah, Molson Ice, yeah.
He's got a big bottle of natural ice.
You can tell by his facial expression. No, he really didn't like it.
Okay.
I watched it. Yeah, I watched it.
Would you buy Rockdale Light again? Well, Dave, that doesn't apply to Dave because he never bought it in the first place.
You know what? I would buy it and be like John and keep it for my friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't drink my expensive stuff. Here you go. I like that, John. Good idea, buddy. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I would possibly buy it again. I might, yeah. But I wouldn't buy it too much, honestly. And I buy a lot of cheap beer. I buy a lot of cheap beer, like I bought the natural ice, just to drink, like Dave was saying with lunch or just
something in the refrigerator to have, right.
But keep an eye out for the regular Rockdale, because I'm sure it will hit your city soon. It's here. It's here up north.
I will be looking for that. And I will be looking for, maybe they'll make a Rockdale Ice or a Rockdale High Gravity, huh?
Yeah, that'll be the day.
Well, John will pass on the ice.
Never say never. Would you buy it again, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, what all of you just said, is a budget beer. If you're that kid on the weekend, you're looking for something to kind of, you're passing the hat around. All right, guys, go get some beer. Okay, how much can you give? Okay, all right, $1 here. Okay, $2, $5. Okay, great. We got enough. Let's go run to Walmart, get this great beer called Rockdale Light. And, you know, you're going to sit and sip on it all weekend while you're doing your term paper or you're hanging out after you're, you know, out whatever you're doing on a Saturday night in the dorm and, you know, just chilling, whatever. This is what this beer is for. Or you got done cutting the grass, you know, basically, and just want to knock a few down. Now, but I would get it again, but I know there are other budget beers that are a lot better. Milwaukee's Best Light, to name a few. Those are probably two of my standbys that I would, even though I'm probably going to pay maybe $2 or $3 more, but still I know from the company it's coming from, it's going to be of good quality. But, you know, so far, you know, this has been all right. You know, so this is my second time having this. Bought a case of this again, and, you know, it's tolerable.
John?
Well, I think everybody knows the question. Am I going to buy this again? Well, more than likely, probably yes. But you know, for not, you know, let me put this out there. For $9.98 for 24 of these from a decent brewery that's making better beers than what they make, I don't think that, you know, let's think about this. $9.98 for that. A case of Bud Light here in Indiana is $15.97 at Walmart.
Yeah.
A case of Miller Lite is $15.97. So you're going to tell me that it took different ingredients to make those two beers than it did this one right here?
No.
So that shows to show you the markup on the beers that those people are making. And if Walmart's selling it at a rollback price and making money, so you think about it. I mean, they're probably not making much more than 50 cents or maybe 75 cents on that case of beer.
No. And John, you're a big light beer drinker. If you were buying light beer, wouldn't you rather have something like Miller High Life Light anyway?
I'll vary sometimes to what light beers I'll buy. Yeah, every once in a while I'll buy Miller High Life Light, or I'll buy Miller Lite. I don't think I've ever in my life bought a case of Bud Light, but
because to me Miller High Life Light is sort of the hidden jewel of the light beer world.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of the
3% ABV. That's pretty good.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, two people were talking. What?
I apologize.
What'd you say, John?
Dave said something. Go ahead, Dave.
No, go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
I say 4.3% ABV for Miller High Life Light, I think. Yeah.
No, I think it's 4.1.
Oh, 4. Okay, sorry.
I mean, I'll switch up sometimes, and I'm mainly a Miller Lite guy, but every once in a while I'll switch up just for something different and buy a case of this, or, you know. But, I mean, it's not a bad beer. I mean, it doesn't have much flavor or taste to it, but when you get a lot of neighbors wanting to come over and hang out and drink beer, I mean, what it is what it is. It's a beer that you're going to sit here and drink on for half the day with your neighbors. So.
In the alcohol, the alcohol's low.
Dave was going to say something.
Yeah.
No, I'm done. I just said the alcohol is low, Jay, so you can drink it all day.
Oh yeah, you'd never feel it probably. Okay, let's see. Next week we're going much higher brow. Not exactly high brow, but higher brow. At least for us. Old Speckled Hen. Been on the market for 36 years.
$12.49 for a 6-pack in one place. I can get that.
That's really not, that's not that bad of a price for Old Speckled Hen, honestly. But I'm just saying.
$2.49 for a single, so really, if you think about that, that's not a bad price, really.
You know,
I'm not saying you should go buy it now. I'm just saying that's about what people are going to pay for Old Speckled Hen in America. Now, you might be able to buy a 4-pack of cans cheaper. That's saying if you can find those.
No cans here. None.
I'm going to try to look for those. Dr. Dave, can you get Old Speckled Hen?
Oh, yeah, I can get cans or bottles easily everywhere. I can get it on tap. Look, I can go. I can do an on-location review with you and do it on tap.
Oh, that's the best way to have it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what style is Old Speckled Hen? What style?
It's an English ale.
Okay.
They've been making it for 36 years. It was made, actually, this is an interesting story. We'll talk about it next week. It was made to celebrate the anniversary of an automobile. All right. But I'm excited about it. I have to go to New Orleans to get it. They do not sell it in this town. Nobody in this town buys English beers, really, except for Newcastle Brown Ale. They tried selling all these fancy English beers. Ha ha, nobody would buy them, like Timothy Taylor, Landlord. I guess that was just too good for this town.
That town survives on small liquor.
John,
and
you can get the Old Speckled Hen.
I can get
I've
the
got one in my refrigerator.
Oh, he's got one.
Like I said, I can get it, but I think I may have to bite the bullet for the $12.49 6-pack. So.
No, we're not pressuring you. If you don't want to pay the money, don't pay the money. I mean, nobody's going to make me go buy expensive beer I don't want to buy. Sorry.
Hey,
Yeah,
man.
you got to go to Stein's Deli for that, Jay?
No, but I could go there. I do need to go there because he's probably getting ticked off that I haven't been there in a while. And that's the guy that had the Bourbon County barley wine. So I might have to pass by there Saturday before I go to the Tulane game.
Once I start getting my retirement check, I'm going to make a trip down to Stein's Deli because Jay says I'm going to have a gold MasterCard going there.
You better have a lot of money, and you better be able to tolerate a lot of. John Sharon can tell you this. You better be able to tolerate a lot of attitude.
Yeah, he give us some attitude. You know,
you've been in there?
we bought a lot of beers from that guy down there, and
Okay.
I asked him. I said, you got any Cantillon? He goes, well, not if that's all you're buying. I'll put everything back then. You can have it back.
John just set everything on the counter and said, bye, see you later.
Oh, you really did?
Yeah, he
Did you?
Basically,
Oh boy!
He wouldn't buy
I
it.
wish I could see video of that.
Okay, now I actually did make a video inside that store myself. Okay,
they got some good-looking sandwiches in there, though.
awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Now we've got Old Speckled Hen coming up. Then Wells Banana Bread beer. I've got that in my fridge. Young's Double Chocolate Stout. I've got some in my fridge. I couldn't find the nitro cans, though. Then we're going back into the dreary world of ultra light beers with Miller 64.
Never had that one.
Lucky you. And then, if you weren't depressed enough, we've got Michelob Ultra Amber.
I don't know if I can find that.
I had that at a bar.
That's a dark beer for people that don't like dark beer. All
All
right.
I've seen is the Cactus and, of course, the Alt, and that's it. So.
I think they might have a locator tool on their website. We'll work on that.
Okay.
Then we've got a beer that you might have had. It's called Dixie Beer.
I did a review of that recently.
I did a review about 5 years ago of that.
Yeah.
We've got some revisits. John Sharon was talking to me about we ought to revisit some beers we did a couple of years ago or 3 years ago and go back down memory lane. I said, okay.
Uh-oh.
Memory lane, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Remember we talked about that, John?
Yeah.
I wrote some of those down now.
Yeah.
And in fact, some of the ones I wrote down, like Budweiser Black Crown, if we don't review it soon, we probably never see it again since.
That's slowly beginning to go away. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we flogged this dead horse out. This is the last little sip of the natural ice. So here we go. Done. No more beer for tonight. I think I'll go get some hot tea. And that's that. So thanks for joining me. I have a feeling more people might want to get involved with the Old Speckled Hen next week. I can't blame people for not jumping out of their seat to go get Rockdale Light, you know. Any last, but it exists. People say, why do you why do you ever examine those things? I say, because they exist. They exist. All right, any last comments?
That was fun. Fun time. Enjoyed it.
Thanks, Dr. Dave, for hanging out with us.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks for having me in here. Cheers.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and it's fun to get things rolling again.
Beer should be fun, right?
Yep.
Beer should be enjoyed by everybody, no matter what your situation or economic situation is.
Everybody's got different situation. That's right.
That's right. That's right. Okay, well, y'all come on down to Louisiana and Cleveland and Mobile and the Louisville metro area.
Good evening, world.
Southern Indiana. All right, good evening, good night, and take care and have a great weekend, people.